Hey, welcome everybody. Who do we have in here? Danny S. Cons, Shinux, What Channel, Pedro, Crypto Joe, LM, Amsterdam, Lot Me Crypto, Eddie, Pedro, I've already said Pedro, Alessio, Draban, Alina, Alan. Cool, welcome. How's everyone doing? Happy Easter, happy Good Friday to everybody. It's a really lovely day here in London, nice and sunny, so I'm going to go and head out in a little bit. But I thought I'd come on here and do a quick stream as I wasn't able to yesterday, having to deal with some stuff. Massive echo. Is it all okay? Is my voice okay for everyone? Yeah, so I was having to deal with some shit yesterday. I'm still having to deal with that now, but yeah, it's not too bad. What channel? You're obviously just like you have me on two screens or something, and you're watching twice. just close one of them. It's you, not me today. It must be. Everyone else says it's fine, apart from the echoey room. In general, I think everything's fine here. So yeah, it all looks good from my end. So I don't think there's any problems. All right. So I'm gonna just yeah, I'm gonna take these off. Basically, I've taken a couple of like little scalpy trades over the past few days. And also, yeah, so yesterday was mainly, there was like a nice long off of the SFP, off of the previous day lows. So we came down, got that SFP, and then we were looking for the break up. And then I was able to take a short position off of, at that point, what was the daily open. And again, have taken profit on this already. Today it's almost weekend style trading, and I don't often trade the weekends. So, I mean, what kind of range are we sat at the moment? It's barely even worth trading this price action at the moment on BTC, but we will continue to just look at what we have here. We'll do some general like higher time frame analysis. We'll spend a bit of time looking across the charts, looking at some altcoins, seeing if there's some opportunities that we can trade over the course of the Easter weekend, and seeing what we can look at as we go into next week. Next week's going to be a fun one. So we've got a lot of news next week. It's the CPI, PPI, FOMC week. So we've got a big week of news events. So we're going to be looking forward to that. And yeah, hopefully we get some clarity on this range that we've literally been in for like what seems like forever right now. So we've just been in this same range for such a long time, very reminiscent of like September 2020, to be honest. Very reminiscent of that, where we were spent like 80 days in the same range, and I think it's looking like we might end up with a similar situation. We're nowhere near that at the moment. We're only in like 20 days. And I don't think this range can get extended. I do think if we're going to get a break, we can then come down here and we can keep on playing this bigger range for a while. But yeah, very reminiscent of what we saw like back here, basically in 2020. So we'll see how this goes. In terms of what we have locally, there's not too much to mention on Bitcoin. I think we have, so I'm just going to show this, quite significant bullish CVD at the moment. And from today, and this is the first time really that we've started to see the open interest creeping up on like a lot more shorts opening. So the longs have just been relatively flat, and we're starting to get shorts that are entering in slightly now. Most of what we see with this CVD in general, the reason why it's down so much is because a lot of longs have been getting liquidated. So if we're looking on this chart over here, we can see perps just continuing just to selling. But if you're actually looking at the liquidations and the stops that are being hit, this is mainly longs being stopped and longs being liquidated, which obviously is causing selling pressure. Even though it's not so much shorts opening, it is longs closing Whereas spot is still looking fairly good here. So I'm still looking for this to break to the upside. Now, obviously, this can continue. Like, we could grind all the way back down to 28,600. We can do all of that. We could even come down to that 25,600 area that we were looking at. And then we'd start to be looking at divergence against the previous lows, which are all the way down here. But yeah, ultimately, I do think that we're looking at things being fairly healthy within the market, and especially with what's going on with spots. And I would be looking for higher prices. I still remain in that bullish bias, and where price is right now is quite a good area to be looking for those long positions, especially on altcoins. I was doing a little scan of the market earlier on today, and there's really not much in the way of shorts that I can find at the moment. We're obviously having Bitcoin holding within like this little daily range that we've got going on here, close to the POC. So obviously you can look for shorts on Bitcoin, and for that I'm targeting the Monday lows and the daily level that we have down there. But on altcoins, a lot of these are just like moving down whilst Bitcoin is just staying flat. So yeah, we can probably see that on the Bitcoin dominance for the last few days, just getting a bit of a rise here. So yeah, ETH obviously having had its breakout, now back testing that daily level. So what was resistance, you're now looking at as pretty decent support here. And then you have had the pullback on the BTC pair. So we're obviously looking for that bounce on Ethereum, which has gone up by like almost like 9-10% bounce there, and a pretty decent pullback so far. So that's probably coming into around about the 382 from this local move. And we've also got a little order block down here. So yeah, decent stuff from ETH. And I think that could get a bounce here. I would be more inclined to, I think Ethereum is one of the ones that we could look for a short. If it gets a bounce, then gets trapped below, then we can be looking for, again, a move down towards the daily level. That obviously isn't the daily open anymore. I just don't chart ETH very much because I'm not trading it so much right now. There's your daily open. Has nice retraces back to the 50 EMA on the 1 hour. Let's have a look at that. We've also got that 200 EMA, which it's holding here, which is decent. To me, it looks like you're not getting very much when you're trading off of the. I guess here you flipped it. It's into resistance. You've almost got to be going for those second tests, because when it comes into it, it usually breaks to the other side. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. That 200 looked quite nice though. Or maybe the 50 on the 4 hour. Ooh, 50 on the 4 hour is good. So you're there on this one. You got burnt on an ACH short. ACH. Ah. I mean, there's a short. There would be a good little short here. If you could get, what would you? This is one of those that actually I would be tempted to take a short. I was looking at a short on GMX as well. So if we just look at this one, I'm looking for something along these lines to get an entry back like close to $80 if I can. But I mean, what I'd like to see is some of these highs taken up here, and then try and get a short position from there that takes us back down lower on GMX. So that's the one that I'm looking for a short on at the moment, but I haven't yet entered anything. So Yeah, I'll be a short from somewhere around here. I think coming up towards these highs is going to be difficult for it. So you've got a pretty decent invalidation off of that. You've got this daily level up here. It's losing momentum, losing volume comparatively to what it had previously. So I think it's time for that to cool off. And then as we've seen previously on this, it's worked quite nicely with that golden pocket. So if it was to like just fall here, come back in to that $50, 48 to $52, and then be looking for maybe another leg up. And then you can almost be having that as some channel or something, maybe. So yeah, that's one of the shorts that I'm looking at, but no entry yet. No entry yet. Got in an ICP long at big range value area low. Let's have a look at that one. You have your grid bot running 26, 29K. Yeah. Just using a little, yeah. I've been doing a bit more. I don't use a bot for it, but I've been trading I do this all the time anyway, just trading based off of the grid. So you're buying towards the lows of a range, selling up towards the highs of the range. So currently that's got me in a short. But yeah. Are we looking at value area low? I would draw, yeah, okay, there we go. So we got the same TA for Vasil. I'd imagine you're drawing your range from here as well. Value area low down there, you're holding, it's just consolidation, isn't it, at this stage? Whichever way that breaks, you're likely to then come up towards the POC. So yeah, you could go for what, like a long from $4.80 up to $6 if you're just trading it based off of this. It's more of a swing position. What you'd want to see is structure's not particularly helpful here. Yeah, okay. So it's almost as if there's your deviation, you're coming back in, which is good. Golden pocket as well here, isn't it? It will be. Maybe 786. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I quite like that. What you'd have to allow for, I think, as well, and this would be preferable, like if I was looking to get an entry, okay, yeah, it's cool to enter here, but be aware, like weekend, you might get something like this, where you drop down to the 786, take out these lows, then reverse, and then can get that move up. You're probably going to end up with the same entry unless you go for the SFP. So if I was personally wanting to do this, like technically that's your invalidation, but you've got to allow it to be taken. So if you can get like as an average, let's say you do $4.80, 50%, $4.50 at 50%, then you're gonna be at 465 as an average, 420-ish invalidation, and then that can take you up towards $6. That would be like one of those just general yeah, fairly low risk trades, I think. I quite like that. Yeah. Pedro and Vasil both entered that one. Good. XRD spot on KuCoin. I bought some. I'm going to see how this is going on. I bought some Prime this morning. Not the energy drink, but I bought some Prime. Oh, hello. Yeah. I bought some Prime this morning. Good. So I'm up like 15% on the day so far on this one. And like this has so far, like this can keep running. Like I'm looking for 100%, 200%, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000% gains on this one. But yeah, just bought some spot earlier on because it looks very, very ready to go. Lots of stuff's looking good though. I entered. What else have I done? OP, which because this was compounding. So I've done. This is like the third time I've compounded this. So this was a long that I'd had previously, taken profit up at the highs, compounded again down here, took profit at the highs. I then compounded again here, and this was on Wednesday. It has swept, but my average is very safely hidden below. And I'm looking up towards $2.43 on OP. And this is another one that's looking really good. So although that is like a trade, because we were just going, okay, local lows, if you're just going to get in now, like that's the kind of thing, but you have to be aware of like sweeping these, coming down into this order block down here, etc. So we had a little gap with a little block. And actually that like basically just taps into that, which is very much like it's done down here, where you just have, there's your little gap within the chart. And quite similar to what it did on the first occasion as well. So there was a couple of opportunities to enter. I think I did that a little bit early and just went off of this, missing this section of the chart. But yeah, overall, still quite happy with how this is going. And let's just rewind, and put that one back on there. Yeah, looking for like $2.43 on this. So another 8% gain. And I've also just gone long on IMX again. So again, this is compounding. So we have the anchored VWAP from all the way down here at the lows. We have, I'm aware that we could drop down to the value area low. So that's why I've got the fixed range on my chart. And also when we're looking at fibs, we've had quite a decent retrace. Again, it's that same thing. It's the 702 that's really, really good at the moment on a lot of stuff. Because we often see that 618, that's when longs start to enter in a little bit early, then sweeps it down to that 702, exactly halfway between the 618 and the 786. And then if you do look for like a third opportunity off of this and you're just looking similar to ICP, right? Let's say it comes down to the weekly level and then gets a reversal, then yeah. So the 702 is a good one. It's my like, yeah, it's the new golden pocket. It's the Taurus, the TC fibs. I need to brand it, make it my own, and shill it to shit. So everyone starts using it and then it stops working. Miller, what do you mean we coming down? What, Bitcoin? Let's just put this back onto the 1 minute chart. What's BCB? I don't know who BCB is. BTC. Huh? We're not even moving. IP. Blockchain backer. Who is the blockchain backer? Is he like another YouTuber guy? Blockchain backer. Let's look him up. Blockchain backer. Gonna Gonna look at his video. Oh. Ugh, white charts, EMAs. Oh no, he's using fractals. Oh my god. I've just skipped through 21 minutes of him moving a fractal around a chart. Oh, he uses fractals. Anyone that uses fractals is like, it's like if anyone knows anyone that actually trades off of fractals, they're like, you know, it's like reading tea leaves or something. I'm going to look into your bowl, or I'm going to read your palm. And yeah, I mean, all TA is like that, to be honest. It just makes me laugh when I see people trading, like, or pretending to trade fractals, because it's such like, it's all confirmation bias, isn't it? Like, because everything, the chart repeats. It's just when you've got like gazillions and zillions and billions of times that the chart's moved and it all does the same thing, obviously you're going to find something that looks similar. It's like looking up at the sky and looking at the stars, and you're like, oh, those stars look like a teapot. But you don't recognize all the stars that don't look like a teapot. You just recognize the stars that do look like one. Like fractals. I'll find a fractal that we can use now. I don't even know what I'm looking at. What am I doing? I'm getting into that silly mode. Let's look at serious TA. Thank you, Predator, for the serious question. Hey man, can you briefly go over your indicators and explain a bit each one of them? Yes. So 90% of what I do will be just based off of like just the chart itself. So it's not really using any indicators as such. It's just drawing on the lines, finding market structure, doing that kind of thing. So most of what I trade based off of will just be the charts, and then I'm just drawing lines here and there, and I'm like, oh look, here's liquidity above here, blah blah blah. There's a little gap in the chart over there, so there's your imbalances. So you've got a little zone there. So let's say if we were to come up on the 4 hour and we pop into here, that would give a decent little short opportunity. And then you've got an invalidation at the highs, and then you're looking down here, and so on. So most of what I use is just based off of just drawing lines on the chart and just seeing what there is. Then what I use as confluence will be, so again, first of all, not an indicator, but I use volume a lot. So let's say the fixed range volume profile that I'm using often on here. So I'm aware of where we have, let's say, when you're looking this side of the POC coming up to value area high, you're looking more for shorts. When you're down here, you're looking more for longs. And when you're in here, you're looking at just reducing position size for myself rather than opening positions around the POC. And then when we go through the indicators, I also use things like, there's fibs. Again, not an indicator, but it's drawing. It's a drawing tool that I use a lot. So it's lines, fibs, volume, anchored VWAP and things. Now, if we're coming onto here, I use the session volume profile, which again is a volume profile like same as the fixed range. And that's looking for your NPOCs. So similar situation where like you can start to build confluence here. So if we're looking at a naked point of control, we are aware that we, first of all, you highlight that you've got order block within inefficiencies within the chart. And then just above that, you've got your MPOC. So you can almost target like two different zones in which to start looking for short. So it adds confluence for this. Are you looking to take a short here, or are you looking for a tap into that POC before taking that short position? So that's one of the indicators that I use often. I use the volume sessions, which of course is not available for everybody. This is something that has been made specifically for the crew. So if you're in the crew, then you can access this, and this just splits the trading sessions up and gives you an area. So for example, okay, look, we're in London session now, and now we're going into New York, but then therefore you can go, okay, look, I'm looking for it to take out New York lows. Whoops, didn't draw that right. You're looking for it to take out Asia highs and things. And then again, what you can do on here, and what I often like to do, is look at the volume and the fibs for each particular session. So let's say, okay, we're going into New York. Yesterday's New York. Therefore, you could be targeting the New York POC from the previous day, and that could give you something that you could look to trade off of. You can also be doing a fibs within sessions and stuff like that. So I use this one often. This is just again, just gives you an idea of what's happened just so far in the week. And then I've got an EMA there, and I've got a VWAP there. So I've got an EMA. I've only just started adding the EMAs back on just because I'm trading alts a bit more. So with EMAs, honestly, it's like the higher time frames, and I often just have it on the 200. So this is waiting for opportunities. If you turn the EMA on Bitcoin on the 200, then that's somewhere that you could be looking for. Okay, if we are to get a move down, then you'd look for support around that 200 EMA, similar to what it did back here. And yeah, VWAP, I missed the VWAP. VWAP's a really important one. So depending on, like, so far today, VWAP just acting as resistance on quite a few occasions. Flip that, starts trending the other direction. And then that again, the VWAPs and the EMAs are things that often the bots will work towards. So yeah, again, like the quant traders and stuff that are just playing a spread and a trend, they'll just be, so let's say today so far the trend's been down, they'll just be selling every time there's the tap of the VWAP. So often you get a good reaction there. And we've seen on previous occasions where you've had like a really strong trending day, you come back into the VWAP, like let's say you've been very bullish for the day, you come back into VWAP, and then you often get a really decent bounce off of that. So there was where was it? A few days ago. I'm going to try and find the one that was really, really, really good, because we did this one on a stream. It was when we took out the highs of the range again, wasn't it? It was here, yeah. So we had this one where we had a really strong trending day. We came back into the VWAP. It's not showing. Oh, this is because I'm looking at Coinbase. So we came back into the VWAP, and then we ended up taking the high there. So you have like one of these situations where the day is very clearly bullish. You have a very quick tap of the VWAP, and then that sends you up to take out the high. So VWAP's often a really, really nice one. So yeah, those are the indicators. You didn't quite understand what exchange lower highs indicators for. Oh yeah, this is just, it's not, this is just aggregated. So these are the candles aggregated, which has some market structure stuff. It's just pointing out the highs and the lows. So I often just have that overlaid to see if there's a difference between what perps, spot and perps are doing. So yeah, not really an indicator. How about my cat's moon in my profile picture? What? You just changed your profile picture as well. Pedro, you were like a little gecko thing a minute ago. Or is that a different Pedro? Do we have two Pedros in the chat? How many likes has this video had? Come on, you guys can do better than this. Let's hit the like button some more. It's Easter. Everyone should be in a good mood. Maybe. I never celebrate Easter, but it's a long weekend, so everyone should be in a good mood. Oh, I liked it upon opening the tab. Everyone minus 36 people sucks. Luke, UK had a bank holiday today, was closed, right? New York has free run of the market upon open. New York's not open, is it? Yeah, no, New York's not open. So no free run on New York, unfortunately. Nowhere's open. And a lot of places aren't open on Monday either. New York is. I think UK futures are trading, right? Yeah, funny little spike. Yeah, no volume today. So yeah, I'm not really trading so much. So who was it that asked something? Planning any trades? Not so much. Not so much. I think like honestly, I quite like the NPOC 4 hour OB that we have up here. So if there is to be a move up to like 28,500 over the weekend, I think that would be a good short. So currently I'm favoring a long. I'm in a long and I'm in a short. I'm in a short from yesterday's daily open. So when we had the back test of that here. So I'm in that short and that would be aiming to down towards here. So there's two very, very clear, like it's very clear, like the support and the resistance that we're looking for. You're looking for longs down here. Yeah. And this is just from the ones that you can just chill out over the weekend and trade. And you're looking for shorts up here. And I think this is likely what we're going to find happening over the weekend. What I would really want to see is up, down, and then we can maybe get some continuation higher. So just can keep going with this range for a while longer. That would be, yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice if we can get that. And I do think it's looking good here. 26,890. Yeah, that's this one. Yeah. For me, it's a little bit higher, so 26,960, 890. It's close enough. Yeah, the right kind of zone of the chart. Um, okay, yeah, Predator. So I just see Predator and Pedro having a conversation. I chart the USD pair because it's the best pair. I trade dollars. I don't trade the inverse. The majority of exchanges these days don't even offer an inverse contract. The inverse contracts are getting phased out. So you either adapt now or you're going to be forced to adapt at some point soon. Most of these exchanges will not be offering inverse contracts quite soon. There's only a few of them really that still get traded with any major size. Also, there's significantly more volume on USDT, and it's just getting more and more and more and more. So I can give you an example here. The volume yesterday on the USDT pair, we had a volume of $3.81 billion, and this is just on Bybit. And if we were to have a look on the USD pair, so 3.81 billion dollars yesterday traded on the USDT. This is where maybe things have changed, and I'm made to look like a fool on the internet. But I'm pretty sure we're going to have significantly less volume on here. Like this is shit. So no, actually, wait. I need to put this now into. I thought that said 211 Bitcoin, but what am I doing? All the settings. I just need to change that and rebuild. That's the problem because it's doing it on like dollars times the Bitcoin price. Yesterday we had 741 million. Okay, so what's 3. 3.8, wasn't it? 3.81 billion. So that would be divided by, I don't know, 741 times 4 times 6, 8. Yeah, a lot more volume. What am I trying to do? It's 5 times the volume on the USDT pair. So you have 5 times more volume being traded on the USDT pair, which is a lot. So why would you? Obviously, it's forward. Yeah, that's why. And look, what you trade every altcoin against USDT, right? We don't really the BTC pairs aren't, unless you're going just for spot portfolio balancing and stuff and playing BTC dominance. You trade altcoins against USDT. So why would you trade Bitcoin any differently? Like everything trades to USDT. So that is why. So please, everyone adapt, because like honestly, soon they're not going to be offering inverse contracts on exchanges anymore. They are being phased out. Let's do some DX, Y, and ES before I go. Sure. Um, Futures are closing in a second, so we're not going to get anything from this. Okay, this one's trading for the rest of the day. So ES is closing in a bit as well. So you're only getting a very, very small window of opportunity on the ES. I mean, if it can just come up and SFP these highs, like you're looking for a short, aren't you? On the S&P, you've had a decent spike up. This is just off of the jobs report that came out earlier on, which was Forex factory. So non-farm employment change is up, unemployment rate is down, average hourly earnings up slightly compared to last month. So economy looking fairly healthy. So you just have a little bit of a spiky thing. Yeah, you'd be looking for a short just to play it back into balance here, because there's no volume. So if you would be looking for a short on the S&P, then that's kind of what you look for. If it can get a little swing failure pattern of these highs, then it does take it into this, which I don't think it's tapped yet. Close enough, right? So yeah, you'd be looking for a short on here. Weirdly, they both moved exactly the same, so they've both done the same thing. DXY and the S&P has been doing the same thing, so it'll be short on the DXY as well, which is unusual. I mean, more of a clear short on the dollar. Yeah. But yeah, very low volume. I'm not expecting anything major to happen. It will just be falling back down to where it was before stuff. Dogecoin. Yeah, there was. So this was the short on here. It did it, and it's given a couple of opportunities for this. So we had the first time you had a chance to take a short. So I'm short on this. Oh no, I'm not anymore. I've closed. That's been closed. So I think I just closed it when it came down here. I'll have to check that. But yeah, there's been a couple of decent shorts. So you had the first one. This is where I went short initially. I can't even remember whether it was that SFP there. I'd have to have a look again at where my entry was on this because that was a while ago. But I took the short position, and then there was this. So just you have like equal highs here. You're coming up, and a tiny little spike up above the highs. That happened on Wednesday that we were watching. Again, you've had a couple of other opportunities with this as well, just a short on the way down. But yeah, having retraced most of this and now being back. Okay. Is it an area where you could see some support? I mean, if it drops a little bit lower, just below like 8 cents, then that would be quite good. Yeah. Yeah. Nene. I am doing very well, thank you. Well, I'm doing a lot better than I was yesterday. I was stressed out yesterday. I mean, I'm still stressed out. It's yeah, not good. But overall, I'm doing very well. I just this bloody UK government is a pain in the ass, and they've killed like killed everything over the past few days. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. It'll all come out in the wash at some point. How does Sol look? CVD divergences, but also kind of local bottomish with good Sol BTC consolidation. Let's see. Do I have a better chart for this? I'm sure there's something I charted. Hmm. Pedro, it's not the US isn't attacking crypto hard. It just happens every bear market. They just yeah, it happens all the time. Stables are fine. I'm supposed to be trying so. This POC should shift soon. Then you're going to get your value area low, which is going to come down here. I think honestly on Solana, I would either wait for a break with volume back above like 23, 24, $25, and then look to get back in, or I'd be looking for a move down to like 18, I think, and to get that. I don't really see anything here. I know I've not. There's a lack of levels on my chart on this. See, that weekly is fairly significant. This is all okay. You've got like some support there, but that's been tapped, hasn't it? I don't really see anything here on Sol. It's just too. You got to wait for this to break. For me personally, and like, you can trade this little range that's there. I mean, the range is okay. Well, what have I done? It's only 5% though. Is it really? Is it worth it? You've got other stuff that's doing better movement. Because I think this will probably just end up doing this, and then you're either waiting for like break and then look for higher, or and then do that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that's lacking any real opportunity on Sol at the moment. Overall, it looks good. Like higher time frame, right? Go back to this, but this is like such a long consolidation that I would be much happier to wait until that volume kicks in on this and sets up for something better when it's a little bit higher up, when people are back interested in it. Because what you could get then is at some point this is going to give you something like a long from 22, 23, 24 as like a big old swing trade that you can take all the way up here. So at some point it's going to give you that, but we don't know whether it's going to be here, whether it's going to roll over, come back down, then get a change, and then do this. So I would just need to wait until I see this pickup in volume and people start talking about it again. Gemcoin XRD Radix. Difficult one to chart. Tricky. Is KuCoin got more history? Nope. Mm. Buy and hold kind of thing. Yeah. If you like the project, that's what it would be. If you had perhaps on this, I would probably want to short this just from where it's come up here, and then you just want it back down, and then you go again, and you come back down, and then you go again, and continue that gradual process of moving up. Just because it took out those highs. Yeah, but yeah, I'd imagine it's more of like the fundamentals. So if you wanted to get in, like, not the biggest trading range for a new coin either. Yeah, nice. I was interested in Blur today as well. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah. Ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Did anyone like that song when they were like 5 years old? I did. Hmm. I like Blur here, but I would want to wait. But again, it's a similar thing. You could come down a little bit lower, but we've had an SF here for some decent lows. So try and get something that's going to look like that. And then you take it back up here, do that kind of thing. Looks okay. Is there anything else I can short? So if you, Flare is flexing for another little move, I think. How much can you get out of that? Not much. Render? Maybe that's a short down here. I don't know. Buy Flex, Zoo and Carl OPNX token from APT, we know. Scams pump the hardest. How is APT a scam? It's not a scam. DXDY might be a good shot. Huh? What's happening with DXDY? DXDY. What? DYD. DYDX. I thought obviously. I read it. Pedro, it's your fault. Yeah. DYDX, of course, is DYDX. DXDY. Okay, I should have known that. Oh, is it though? Immortalist. Yeah, the kill zone time for, if that's like, it's the pre-New York session. It's just an hour and a half, or like the 2 hours prior to open. So I'm mainly even just like 1 hour prior to open. So I'm just using you can see it on here. So you have New York opens at 1:30 UTC, and then I've just got midday UTC until 1:30 UTC. So that 90 minutes time zone, but 90 minutes before New York opens, is where I'm looking for a pivot. I wouldn't necessarily call it like a kill zone or anything. I just look for a pivot, like a pre-session pivot at that point. So if the day's been going up, you're looking for a reversal in the opposite direction, and then that starts to seek the liquidity to get continuation through New York. So here, it's the only one I use. The indicator doesn't cost anything, it's free, but it's only available for crew members, so I guess technically like $99. We're doing 30% off. If anyone's not aware of the 30% off, so we do have the offer at the moment that we are running, where you can have 30% off any of these plans with the crew membership here. So you can either get 30% off 1 month, or if you want to get an annual subscription and get 30% off of that, it's still valid. So we are running this for the next couple of weeks. The only thing that you need to do in order to get the 30% off voucher is, if I just pull up the Discord and I'll show you on here, then you just need to sign up under either Bybit or BingX links. And so these are the two links. So either sign up with our Bybit affiliate or our BingX affiliate, which are these two. We've got additional bonuses for that. So if you do trade on Bybit already, then you get 20% off of all of your fees. So if you use that link, you will receive a 20% discount off of like every single trade you take all of the fees on that. So that's something that we've been able to negotiate. And on BingX you get a $200 trading credit, and they're also running a volume based bonuses thing where you can get like up to 7,800 in bonuses depending on how much volume you trade on the exchange over the next 2 weeks as well. So if you do sign up and just deposit any amount, it doesn't matter. It's just yeah, like I would recommend, like if you trade with like a decent amount of crypto, sign up under this, save a load of money on fees, and yeah, you support the community, especially after what's happened this week. We would we would very 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 much appreciate the support, because yeah, this week hasn't been a fun one. So if you are just looking to support the community and just do that, then it does help us if you can. Yeah, because we've got a rather large team in a bear market to sustain right now. So yeah. It's not just me, this little thing. There's a whole team of us here, and by yeah supporting us, it helps us all. It's not just Coinbase either, Pedro. But all will be revealed at some point. It's just been a bit of a weird week. And with your support, it enables us to continue doing what we are doing because we love doing this. But we can't do it without you guys, you awesome people. Let's just put it this way. UK government do not like any businesses related to crypto, and they want to steal all your money if you let's just put it that way. So yeah. What tick size do you use to get NPOCs daily, weekly, monthly? Also, do you ever use ATAS? So I'm using 50 tick. I've yeah. But also just on here, I'm just using 200 rows. So it's not necessarily tick size. I'm just using the rows because I switch between altcoins and everything quite often. On EXO, I am using 50 tick, and I have stuck with 50 tick even though the tick size has changed. But I'm not trading these as much right now. I'm not trading points of control so much anymore because we're very flat. So I think we need to wait. Yeah, I need to find one that works a little bit better. And just the thing at the moment, we can't really. Yeah, there's not much trades that we can get off of these MPOCs. The session ones are okay. We're getting a few trades off of the session POCs now and again, but yeah, it's so flat that we're just very. Yeah, everything's very balanced. So I'm going more for liquidity. That doesn't really answer your question. I use 50 tick and 200 rows. That's that answers the question. But I will likely change that tick size when we start to pick up volume again, just because the tick sizes have changed and continue to change on the assets themselves. Yeah, I use 50 tick for everything. That's what I have been doing, but like I say, since the change in tick sizes, I haven't adjusted those. So I'm still using 50 tick, but I'm not really getting much out of them at the moment. I'm getting more out of these. Just the 200 row ones. But like you say, you can't really trade them. like there's not really any times where we've had decent trades off of MPOCs recently. Very, very few and far between. Maybe I'll get back to it. I'll look into that a little bit more. Which platform and or software do you use for your APIs? I'm just using in silico. That's the API I use. Cool. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap things up. We've been live for about an hour. It's been a nice chat, but I'm going to go outside, enjoy the weather, grab some lunch, go for a walk because I need to move around a bit because of being sat on my computer all the time. So yeah. Predator, what I would say is with more volatility, higher volatility, I would generally increase the tick size a little bit. And also because we've gone from increments of like 50 cents to increments of like 1 cent or 10 cents, then yeah, there's a multiplier that we would have to use on tick size. But for now, 50 ticks still does the job, I guess. It still does a job, but less reliant on it now. Cool. All right, I'll see everyone later. Yeah, like I say, if you want to take advantage of the 30% off the crew membership thingy, which is here, then I've given you the information for that. Like I say, yeah, 30% off of all crew memberships by signing up under one of those links, depositing any amount, and then you get a discount on your fees. If anyone wants any help with that, let's say, okay, you have like a main trading account that you might want to switch over to take advantage of the lower fees. You can switch your KYC over very easily. So if you have a KYC'd account and you do want to do that, then DM us because we can maybe do something even better than the 30% thing if you do want to switch over a KYC'd account or anything like that. But that will just be on a just DM us, DM myself or P, and we can work something out. But yeah, thank you everyone, and I will see you all very soon. Have a great Easter, and yeah, cheers, bye.